Well, would you look at the time?
What time is it? Is it time? Is it time yet?
It is time.
Is it time?
It's time. First
Is
of all,
it time?
well, you know what it's time for. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, listen. First of all, let's welcome you to the BGKH Show.
You can do that intro. So.
We're going to welcome to the BGKH
glug, glug,
Show
glug, glug, glug,
with
glug,
Dominion
glug, glug,
and
glug,
Epic.
glug, 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 glug.
And right about now, we are filling our cup with some BGKH juice.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going to call it for now, the
BGKH juice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we're going to do here.
This
but,
is Vino Verde Rosé. It's a project of Portugal.
It's a project of Portugal.
Product of Portugal. So
sounds like it was on sale.
It was.
Well, okay. Classy.
Cheers, queers.
Cheers.
This is pretty good, actually, because it's not super sweet.
This mixes really well with the spearmint gum in my mouth.
It's giving you what you need.
It is mixing very well with the spearmint gum in my mouth.
So, yes.
But anyway, hey, kittens. Welcome to the BGKH Show, the show for the blacks, the gays, the kinky, and then yeah, right. And also humans. Welcome, kittens. Welcome to another installation. This is show number 36.
36, yes.
36. It's been 36 episodes of BGKH.
Right?
We are yet still without some sponsors.
Right.
But I am going to take this time to thank my little brother, Chameleon, and also the young man who is responsible for Busy Being Epic. So I'm just letting y'all know, going out there and get his stuff. But you can't wear it, though, because it has my name on it. But you can promote me if you want to. As a matter of fact, you can come and donate to us, and you can be a sponsor for us. I'm just saying. But thank you so much, Chameleon. I appreciate it. And also thank you for...
I mean, it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute for me, right.
It's
cute for me.
For you.
It's cute for me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute for me.
Nice.
It's cute for me. Real quick, this week is a weird week, or has been a weird week for me so far, and the end of last week was as well. Had a lot of stuff that's going on.
Drink your juice,
one of my first things is that my ass is getting old. Jesus Christ. I'll talk about that in a second as we go along. But, oh, my God, I'm getting old. Like, this is one of them things where it's like,
for you.
It's just getting old. Right. Meanwhile, we are, 3 months apart?
I don't know what you're talking about.
3 months apart.
I'm not getting older. I'm becoming more legendary.
Legendary?
Legendary, as Bevy Smith would say.
Legions. Okay.
Legendary, yes.
Okay. All right. But, yeah, so I take myself to the doctor to go get my little checkups and everything else, and I'm going through. So I have a new health plan. I'm with Kaiser now.
Oh.
So it's interesting because I've never been with Kaiser. Like, I was a Blue Cross Blue Shield person, and I try to stay with them and all that good stuff. Well, as soon as I walk over there, like, oh, hey, well, how are you? Because I've been going to my intern. It's like I've talked about this stuff before, or maybe I did.
Yeah, you gotta use a system.
Yeah, maybe I did or didn't, but so I had some, some surgery and some issues back there.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Right.
Oh no, not that.
Yeah, I had some surgery, some issues back in, back in the nether regions and stuff, from years ago. So I kind of go to my surgeon because they
got
kind of
banged out real good.
No,
just you out.
A very common practice called a fissure. And no, my snapback is real good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Bronner's hot water and lemon. Thank you so much. But anyway,
was that your regimen?
Well,
Dr. Bronner's
peppermint,
hot water,
Castile
peppermint Castile, water and lemon.
Hot water and lemon. Have you tatted in a dime?
Oh, okay, good to know.
But anyway, so this is my first time having to go through their system at Kaiser. So I had to go in, and the first thing they tell me,
Walter said he likes old ass.
Walter, I like you too. So they come up with all this stuff. So you first walk in the door, they want to do your blood pressure, they want to do your weight, they want this, they want that. And then they're like, okay, well, how old are you? Okay, we need to go and do a colon test. So that means you need to take this test home and scoop out your poop and then put it in a thing and bring it back and test for colon cancer. It's like, okay, fine.
You can't do that right there?
They want you to do it, the sample at home and then bring it back to them. Like, first of all, I didn't
you
have
gotta
to
actually, they're not just doing a swab. They're doing
they
like
want to do the actual bowel movement, and you have to scoop out of that.
Oh, that's
right.
A lot.
So that's one thing. So then they talk about, well, you're over a certain age, you should get first of all, it was this time of year, they're like, you need to get a flu shot. So then they gave me a flu shot. Then they were like, have you had your pneumonia shot and your meningitis shot? And I was like, no. They're like, well, you should get one of those. I'm like,
you ain't had none of these shots before? Your old doctor?
Listen, no. So they talked about that. Then after all of that, then they say to me, well, what else is going on? I was like, well, I make the time to go to an eye doctor.
Now listen, I drink fast, Shelby, so you got to drink your
juice.
We
have a whole, listen, I got this. I got this. Let me ease through.
All right, and then when I'm talking, then you can drink.
That's fine.
Okay.
So
it's called peer pressure.
Then after all of that, then I say, I need to go to the eye doctor. I go to the eye doctor, and after my 47 years of being on this planet, I am now the proud owner and have to wear glasses.
Now, those glasses or just readers?
These are glasses, and they have a progressive line in the bottom. Yes, indeed. Yes, they are glasses. They are full on. They are full on. And thanks to Gray and 007 who are sitting there saying to me, like, well, bitch, how blind were you? I was like, what do you mean? They're like, well, I'm looking through. Listen, no, they are full. They are full on glasses. The progressives are at the bottom. So you have to tilt your head up a little bit. Is it?
No, I understand. I have progressives in mine, but ooh, honey.
So first of all, let's bring it together. Let's bring it all together. Wow. Let's bring it all together.
Wow. I could see a whole universe.
So first of all, you need to go get your glasses checked if your ass can't see. Just bring me my.
All I'm saying is that your prescription is. Actually,
in any event,
honestly, his prescription is not as strong as mine because the shit was blurry on his. So and my vision is fucked up. I just tell you.
So I'm a little.
I can see shit that ain't happened yet.
I am self-medicating.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, Kaiser. It's a one-stop shop, which is cute, but because it's a one-stop shop, you can't go out of that shit for nothing. So it's going to take you a while to
this is like adjust. Day 2, and the full day I've actually worn. Listen, then my eyelashes is hitting the damn glasses, and then I feel like they crooked. I got to go back up.
Have you not worn glasses before?
No, I've never worn glasses before. That's my issue.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been wearing glasses since I was in the 5th grade. So.
Okay, well, no. Listen, at 47, this is my first time wearing glasses, and now I'm... Okay, but it does look clear. Now, here's the funny part. I put my glasses on, I was getting dressed, and I was looking at my face. I said...
That is what shit is supposed to look like.
oh my God. I was like, look at your skin. I was like, you can see all this. Your skin looks awful. You got so many craters and bumps. I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like,
Take the glasses off. Listen, I'd rather be blind.
High definition, everything. The doctor was like, well, you want this, you want that, you want the high definition. And, okay, so when did glasses now become like a small fortune? Like, literally.
You sound like such an old man. But they are. Listen. So here's what you got to do. Just tell me.
I was at the Vision Works, and I got my buy.
That's where you got.
First of all, I got my buy one get one free.
Write down how much you spent on them. Oh, sweet Jesus!
It came down from.
That's for one pair of glasses.
This is for the one pair of glasses. That's what it was for the two pair. So,
no, ma'am.
But this amount of money is what got me my two pair of glasses.
Let me tell you how much mine were. How much these were. And that was because I wanted to be fancy. Let me tell you. Don't go to America's Best. Don't go to America's Best. Don't go to Lens Crafter. Don't go to Eyeglasses in an Hour. Don't go to nobody. You can go to all those places to get your prescription, but if you want your glasses, go to BJ's or Costco.
Listen.
BJ's, these glasses. So can I say this number out loud?
That's fine.
$671. Which, listen, I'm not shading that because that's like a typical eyeglass store place. I took this number, and that's when they give you the insurance. It's like buying a car. It was like, yeah, it was gonna be $1,200, but we're gonna cut your deal for $670. They were never gonna be $1,200. $671. The glass actually are $400. They're gonna make you feel like you're getting a deal by telling you they're $671, but. And then that's like, oh, with your insurance, you get a discount and all this.
Now,
you just go, you take your prescription to BJ's, you get fitted. They tell you that these glasses that have progressives, that are
I got all
they got
that.
the scratch coating.
The scratch coating.
I didn't get the darkening. Transitions and all
I didn't get that. I was like, I'm not doing
these
that.
These were $210.
Okay,
for these.
My glasses, when I priced them at Kaiser.
I hate when people say this. But bitch, I already spent the money.
My glasses at Kaiser. Well, listen, you know I have 30 days.
This is use.
You know, bitch has 30
take
days.
the girls back.
I have bitch has 30 days.
You can use my. Listen, I already read and I already saw. I got a promotion. The BJ's friends and family can use BJ's for the next 30 days for free.
But listen, trust me, this was only because of flexible spending. Let's be clear, that was flexible spending.
Yeah, but take that back, and then you can. If you want to spend that much money, here's what you do: you get a cute pair of prescription sunglasses that you keep in your car, and a prescription pair of glasses. So if you're fine spending $671, you could get 2 or 3 pair of glasses from BJ's.
I'm good because this is my first pair of glasses. We're gonna keep these, and this is what we're gonna do. But going forward,
Show money, honey.
Like this is where we are. And I was like, okay. But even the ones I priced at Kaiser with like the $59 frame and everything
but those
else,
glasses make you look younger. Not that you looked old before, but they do. They make you look like
this bitch. You know, this is the type of shit.
They do. Listeners, do the glasses not make him look younger? I swear to God, I'm being serious. That is not a read. There's no hidden undercurrent of shade.
So what you're saying is I was an old-looking ass.
No, that is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying
you're saying I was an old-looking ass.
Completely all right for your age. Now that was shade.
I would say, bitch, because we are the same age, bitch.
That was shade.
Bitch, we are the same age.
That was shade. But the glasses do, I think it's because of the style. That's a very young-looking style.
She is trying it. Oh my God, she's trying it. Oh my God. We're gonna go ahead and listen. I'm gonna go ahead and stop spilling my heart and on this couch here and feeling all types of listen. That's where I am right now. I need to take these bitches off. I'm getting a little dizzy because I just going up and down.
Just take the rest of this.
Wait a minute, bitch. You are an alcoholic. This is
There's
awesome.
a lot happened.
Listen,
a lot happened this week.
Listen.
In fact.
Listen, I'm concerned.
No.
That you drink it out of the bottle. Real classy.
I am classy as fuck.
I'm just saying.
Anywho.
But anyway, so that was my get old moment. And listen, for any of you all that are feeling any kind of way of old, listen, as someone that's never worn glasses, and I've had my jokes about people that have worn glasses. This is going to be an adjustment. I'm just looking at the bifocal.
It does take a while to get used to it.
Looking up and down.
Eventually, it'll be like second nature.
And then the glare from the headlight and shit. And then they gave me the high definition.
Right. So you can get the next time you get glasses, you can get the anti-glare coating.
That's what I have on them.
Oh, okay. Well, then they are just dirty, and that is no shade. It's that is not shade at all, because I'm constantly wiping mine off.
Well, yeah, no.
Looking at lights and you don't realize that they're dirty on your face until you're looking at lights or at night at oncoming traffic or something.
Well, yeah. Well, they're fine. I just have to take them off because I'm still trying to adjust to it. But you're saying they're dirty? Is that what you're saying?
They might be.
No,
you could just be adjusting.
I'm adjusting because even like when I take them off now, everything's starting to look a little blurry, but my eyes are still trying to focus back.
And it could just be that your eyes aren't used to seeing everything clearly.
And it's like it is literally like going from a regular tube television to high definition television. You know how you used to when you got for me anyway, because that high definition television, I felt kind of weird because I felt like that person was in 3D and I could almost reach around them. Mm-hmm. The first time I watched the high definition television.
Right. So what happened? It's Canelli. We're in the middle of the show, honey.
Bring him on, because she's going to clown.
Hey, doll, what's going on?
Oh, he hung up. Okay.
But yeah, so you'll get used to it.
Well, yeah, eventually. So I'm good with it. But yeah, so that's my getting old. This
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, how was your week? Let's go into that.
So my father died on Monday. It was not an unexpected event, but it was still entirely unexpected. So I was at work. I mean, we've been having this conversation. You all have been with me on this journey, and we talked about it. What was going on, and so Friday, they moved him from the rehab facility to the hospital because they were saying he wasn't doing well. And so that was Thursday night, and I'm just like, okay, well, fine, whatever. And then so Friday, the doctor calls me and was like, things aren't looking well. And I was like, yeah, we know. It's not looking. He was like, no, you need to get here now. And so I left work and went there. And my sister even said it to me. She's like, I think the doctor was hitting on you. He was hittable. I'm always having inappropriate thoughts.
Did you?
No.
Did you get the telephone number or a way to get back in contact with him? An email address or anything?
No.
You know where he works. You know his name.
I know where he works, but I'm not going to go back there because the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, he was probably just having a nice bedside manner, and I was reading too much into it.
But
but Kendra has terrible gaydar. She's her.
Does she though?
She does. I'll tell you why after.
Really?
I don't want to put her business out there like that.
Okay.
But
Hey, Kendra.
So anyway, I had to make some decisions, and decisions were made. And then so we sat there for like 9 hours on our phones and whatever, nodding in and out and everything. And then, not that we wanted him to die, but it was like, well, it's like 8 o'clock, so. And I don't know how other people are, but to me, only on TV, or maybe I'm just a terrible person, but I just don't see sitting there and camping out in the hospital overnight. Maybe that's just the nature of my relationship with my parents or whatever. But I mean, it wasn't like he was just asleep and he would wake up. He was like out of it. So there was no good reason that either me or my sister could see was sitting there. So, that sort of went on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Monday, so we start going around, because, of course he had no arrangements made or anything, and we'll get to all of that foolishness in a minute. And then so Monday, the another doctor calls me. He didn't sound cute on the phone. But
listen, so I'm gonna go on record, and I probably shouldn't say this on air, but I'm gonna go on record. I am concerned, and we have talked, but and I know where you stand on certain issues, but I'm just gonna go on record. I'm concerned about just in general. I'm just concerned, but again, you already know. I'm here if you need me. So that's all. I get it. Yes. I am putting that out. And it's been a rough week for me as well. So I'm
Legionnaire and Guy Johnson have already posted the Steel Magnolias meme with me as Malin. Like I'm gonna have some dramatic breakdown. Like I'm fine. And then he did, and then of course Legionnaire Guy says, "Well, your head does kind of look like a brown football helmet." And I was like, "Fuck both of y'all."
Well, I will thank Legionnaire for that kitty cat meme because that was everything. Yes. I was like, "Oh, the warm fuzzies that are going on here."
Yes. So
I'm like, okay.
I'm not at all pretending like I do not have emotions around this.
That is not what I'm saying.
So. As I have come to discover that I have inherited more from my father than I thought, and one of those things is his reticence to share his emotions, which doesn't mean that I'm dead inside, but fuck you. I mean, I don't really appreciate the look that you just gave me. You saw it. Our producer's girlfriend saw it.
Rewind the tape.
I do not appreciate.
Rewind the tape. Take two. Take two.
I do not appreciate the.
Take two. Start from. What's the line again? Do your line again. Take two.
But, I knew that people were going to try to comfort me, and I don't need that kind of comfort. So like when bad things happen, I tend to withdraw, and not forever, but I heal by being alone.
Introvert.
I'm not even really particularly introverted all the time, but when it comes to crises, I'm like, okay, here's what we need to do. Here are the 10 or 15 things that we need to do, and then for the rest of the time, I just need to be alone. And I know that I cannot be, one, because I can't leave my sister just out there twisting in the wind. And I know that that's not an accepted social norm for other people. And I mean, I do appreciate that people are calling and emailing and texting and sending messages on Facebook. And I honestly appreciate all of them. More than you would know, because, despite that reticence, it still is good to know that you have friends and family and brothers and whatnot who will be there for you. So that's about all I'll say about that. The humor is sort of a defense mechanism that I use with everything. So.
I know that well for myself. So
yes. And so it's a lot, and it will only become clear to me. It will only really hit me, just like when my mother died. It didn't really hit me at the moment, but it hit me in the days and weeks
after,
and months and years afterwards, because it's like even today sometimes. And now it's even worse. And so before I started to get maudlin, I've been saying to myself, I'm an orphan now. Me and my. All right, girl. Sorry. So, my father was a great person, and I learned a lot of really important lessons from him, a lot of which I didn't realize were important at the time, but. I finally got the chance to say to him, not just recently, but earlier, that everything he ever taught me was correct.
That's a great thing to realize.
How when you're a kid, you're like, this old man, you 15, like, this old man don't know nothing. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's like, you don't need to be in the street fucking with these worthless ass motherfuckers. They ain't shit. The fuck you need to, this was 1980. He's like, who wears you don't wear a big ass clock around your neck. What kind of stupid motherfucker wears a big clock around their neck? And I'm just like, this old man doesn't know what he's talking about. But now I look back, I'm like, you know what? Everything you ever taught me was exactly the right thing. And was he a perfect parent? No. Because he grew up in a generation where he didn't necessarily share his emotions. Yeah. So could he have been better? Yeah, but I'm not a whiner either. So I'm not going to be like, my father didn't hug me enough, because I don't feel that way. So.
Well, at least yours was there. Shit.
Well, yeah.
I mean, then there's that.
But. Well, so. All right. So
let's flip it around.
At some point, there will be some hilarious shenanigans from the funeral. I just know it. So I don't even know when the funeral is, because,
there always is.
Funerals are a racket. My father died 2 days ago, and so I'm all like, look, we already got a contract, so let's get this crack-a-lacking. We can't even get in to plan the funeral until Monday. And then the funeral itself isn't going to be until a week after that. But then I'm like, now we're starting to impinge on my time.
Listen,
I plan to go out of town for Veterans Day weekend, and I need closure by then, because I don't want to.
I need to do my early voting. I need to get ready for the weekend.
I just want to. I need to move past this and be past this interaction with my family, because the last thing I'll say is that all of the things that I've said about hating my family mostly still remain true, but I also understood and have tried to grow and understand that it was not just my father, but their brother too. Because originally, I wasn't going to say shit. My sister was like, you can't not say anything. And I'm like, well, how would I feel if you got sick, meaning my sister died, and ain't nobody tell me? I would be like so beyond pissed off. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave it alone for now.
Okay.
Anyway, so, I was going to leave whatever annoyance I have with my family at home. So let's get into the show. What we got to talk about?
So, tonight is Wednesday. So,
it's American Horror Story.
But let me just take you back on a recap.
Can I just say, though, that episode, I guess it was maybe because I didn't watch Murder House. It was fine, but I was just like, eh.
We're going to block out everything that Dominion said about Murder House?
No. I'm just saying that whole flashback to everything that went on, it just seems so over the top to me.
That was Murder House. That is American Horror Story. That's how it was. Okay. Listen, just first of all,
it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong.
Jessica Lange. There is not a better actress than that damn Jessica Lange. She came back with this drama, and listen, her reenacting of her suicide with these pills and this music and this alcohol. She turned that. Her little monologues that she was doing. Like, listen, I was here for it. Mm-hmm. That death was everything. So one of the comical parts for me was Chablis and Madison when they went. They were because they were going back to Murder House. They were acting like a married couple.
Right.
They were like hubby and wife. They were like, oh my God. They were like, yay! And I was like, girl, get it together.
Right.
Get it together.
And for me, that was like, why are they still trying to sell this house when like 5,000 people have been killed in this house over the years? So.
Anyway, something new came out of this. They talked about Jessica Lange, or her character's name is Constance. Mm-hmm. She had 3 kids, and then they also introduced a 4th kid on here, which was Rose, which is the one that didn't have the eyes.
Right.
So that was really weird. I didn't quite know what that was all about. But here's the thing: one of the connections that like some of the American Horror Story conspiracy theorists or connective theorists are talking about. Mm-hmm. They're saying that there was a theme of roses, which is where Constance was burying all the things that Michael had killed.
Right.
And so that's where she sprouted up all these new roses or whatever. But then there was this thing about butterflies, and the roses were to symbolize death. But then the butterflies, which is what Mallory, one of the other witches, was turning things into butterflies and bringing them back to life. Mm-hmm. So there's this whole life and death kind of balance or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's possibly a connective tissue to season 1 and also season 3, but we already see that there's there is connective tissue, but again, it opens the door for other connections within American Horror Story and the other 6 episodes,
right,
or 6 seasons rather. Shout out to Brad Falchuk and what's his name,
Ryan
Murphy. for bringing back the cast, because did you see Pepper?
But that wasn't actually Pepper. That was just the actress that played.
That was
Pepper.
That was the actress that played
Pepper. Pepper was like
but again, that
had
was
mental challenges.
Right, but the fact remains that. But again, it could be a connective tissue because something could have happened
to. Yeah, but that wasn't.
This is in the future though.
But Pepper's, at least on the season that I watched, Freak Show, Pepper had been like that the whole time. And she wasn't like someone and something happened to her. She was like a slow person who was living with the family, and they framed her. They framed Pepper for the murder of the child, remember, which is how she ended up in the insane asylum.
So that also brings to the forefront Rose, possibly. Mm-hmm. As being that child that she may have murdered, possibly, could be.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, there's so many pieces of connection. And then also, this episode is titled Traitor. So the whole thing is who's going to be the traitor for this particular episode.
And there's only 2 episodes left of this.
There is only 10 episodes this season. This is season 8.
Episode 9.
This is episode 8.
Is it 8? It's 8 or 9.
Or is it 7?
I think it's 8. I was reading something, I feel like it was.
I think there's only 10 episodes.
On the AV Club, that said that last week's episode was episode 8.
No.
It could be. So
I think this is episode 8, but I could be wrong. But anyway.
So it's coming up close.
So it's coming up. Listen, so I'm all for it. So right after this, I'm running home because I got to get my DVR out. I got to, figure out what's going on. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it did establish some background.
This wine is kind of good.
I know, right? But I feel like I'm ready to. It didn't really explain anything to me, though. I mean, I get it that we're now clear that Michael is the son of Satan.
Did you see how he grew overnight?
Right. I mean, and all of that was good, but I feel like that it was a whole episode about that.
Well,
and it felt like old home day for the fans, for the deep fans of the show who were like, oh, all of these old other people. But I didn't feel like they didn't need a whole episode to figure out all of that.
Listen, but the other part was the Constance's son who was doing the tears and masturbation.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious.
So, all right. So the caravan of U.S. migrant workers, is it filled with terrorists, ISIS members, MS-13 gangsters, criminals, and unknown Middle Easterners? But there's no proof. But they could be.
Frigging
That's what your president said.
Ounce of proof.
He's like, there's no proof that there are Middle Easterners in the caravan, but they could be. So we might as well plan for that.
And then after all of this, he really wants to try to blame the Democrats for this.
Of course he does.
He's trying to bring, into focus the whole issue of immigration and naturalization and just people coming into the country itself. And you're trying to blame this on the Democrats, and I'm trying to figure out but
how is that the Democrats? You're the president. So how is this? Are you suggesting that people are going to, that Democratic agents are, down in Guatemala and Honduras and you should just come to the United States to fuck up our country, So no, I don't.
But listen, and I'm agreeing with you. But then the other part of that is, listen, let's be clear. These migrants workers or these people are these people are walking. They are probably about 1,000 miles or less away from the border.
Yeah.
This will end badly. And I'm so sorry to say that, but I hope and pray it doesn't. But this will end badly because the 45 and his administration don't know how they're going to deal with them. And I have a fear that this will end badly because it's going to it is going to be very newsworthy, and I just hope and pray that there are no to minimum lives lost.
I just wish we had, like a legitimate immigration policy. Because
now you're speaking logically. Like, really?
Well, yes.
Like, I mean, you're speaking like a representative.
it just so on one hand, I'm like, yes, it's give me you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, whatever. But this country only has we do have a finite amount of resources,
right?
And these people, when they come, they're not moving like to Montana and this isn't the old West where you could just move to some place that nobody lives and
stake a claim and
there aren't Native Americans living there and just stake a claim. So they're going to come and move into places where there's already infrastructures that are already struggling to support the people that are there. And I'm not suggesting that they shouldn't come, but I wish we just had a better policy. And this is something that goes way back. I mean, this isn't just this administration's problem. Quiet as kept. Barack Obama deported a record number of immigrants. So
really good wine.
It is really good. Oh my God! To bring this to the table for Thanksgiving, but so I mean, we can't just act like this is a problem that's only cropped up in the past 2 years. It's easy to scapegoat this administration because of all of the other horrible things that they've done. But, at least in the past, the enforcement was concentrated on people who were known to be criminals or who had committed crimes in this country, and they were the ones that were deported. They weren't getting the people who were coming here to pick oranges or do whatever. So, and another thing is that, this whole thing that they're taking our jobs. They ain't taking no jobs that Americans want.
Listen, they're taking the jobs that people don't want.
They are not taking any jobs in the steel industry. They are not taking your mechanized farming jobs. They are taking jobs picking oranges and fruits and cleaning toilets.
The shit that you don't want to do or that you feel that you're too good to do.
Bathrooms and whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise or a secret that, for a lot of hotels, the staff is comprised of people who are from other countries.
Yeah.
It's because Americans clearly are not applying for those jobs.
Or they feel they're above them.
They feel that they're above those jobs. And, it's always funny to me that it's easy to blame the people who want the jobs and take the jobs, but there's never any blowback on the people who hire them. So in order for someone to take your job, someone had to give them that job.
That's true.
And that person is an American. But you're not fighting, the corporate billionaire because you know that you won't get anywhere with them. So you're picking on this little guy who's just trying to make a living. So I think it's also going to end badly. And, this segues to your last point on here is that voting counts. Let me tell you how I saw a post yesterday that said Sandra Day O'Connor had been diagnosed with the early stages of dementia, and I freaked the fuck out because I was like, oh, Lord, that's another one. And then I read further. Oh, that's right. She
retired
was
from
this. I was like,
but don't feel bad because I thought the same thing. Right, I was like, oh my God, we got another one.
Right.
Jesus.
Right, Lord, just hang on, Sandra. Yeah. Come on, Sandra, just hang on for 2 years, honey, please, just hang on.
Yeah.
This will tell you how dumb people are. So I have been posting, and lots of other people have been posting about the importance of voting. And one of our friends, the current Mr. DC Eagle,
early voting has actually started. Let's be clear.
Right,
and it's about
said that he had read something that said millennials, particularly, had said their biggest bar to voting absentee was not knowing where to get a stamp. I was like, bitch.
Really?
The post office, honey. I mean, I get that you don't use the post office, but you had to have seen these blue boxes.
But these these are the same people that when you put them in front of a gas station and put them in front of a gas machine and you give them a $20 bill and you say get gas, they try to feed it into the credit card slot because they don't know how they have to go on the inside and actually pay for it.
I feel like that's just stupidity because I'm like, how can you not know that?
These are the people that
is aggressive ignorance and stupidity because like I can get like if I gave someone born in 1998 a cassette tape for him not to know that because if you're born in 1998, by the time you became aware of music, everything was at least CD, if not the iPod. So if you're born in 1998, that means you're 20 years old right now, and so you've always grown up with music accessible from some electronic device, maybe not even a CD. So I get that, but to not understand, I mean, you've seen people use cash before. And you've seen people put a credit card in that machine. Have you ever seen anyone try to put cash in that same slot? So I was like, that's just stupidity. And I'm sorry. If this is the future, then I weep for the fucking future.
These are the same people that actually, if they see a rotary phone, first of all, I don't even know where the fuck
I forgive you for a rotary phone.
That you try to press the buttons in between the rotary phone.
I mean, even in the 80s, my grandmother had a rotary phone. And we was like, what the fuck?
I love the rotary phone because I wanted to just
spin it. To play with
and then you hold the thing all the way around to the other side. You're like,
oh, bitch, is like 999.
Right.
9990. Right. I mean, I get that. So, I mean, those are things that I understand because they don't form any part. They don't form any part of. Wine was a bad idea. They don't form any part of your background, but to not understand how and where to get postage stamps and to use that as an excuse, well, I can't vote because I don't know where to get stamps. Well, clearly you know where that stamps exist. So just ask someone with gray, where can I get stamps? I mean, there are so many places where you can get a fucking stamp now besides the post office. I swear to fucking God. And then, so...
oh my God, this is such good wine.
And then...
I have had nothing to eat.
So,
this is awful.
Another friend of mine was talking, he was having a conversation on Facebook in real time with someone who said that voting doesn't matter. And then, so this friend of mine, and it's not a friend, he's a Facebook friend, was replying to this person who was like, of course voting matters. You know, there's so many decisions. I'm sorry. Ooh, you cannot have my wine.
You was talking about me, but you are slow on the draw. Are you going to drink all? Okay.
All right. You feel better now? All right. As I was saying, this person was saying that voting doesn't matter because, you know, nothing's going to change and your vote doesn't count and, you know, you can't affect the system at all, so why bother to vote? And then, so he said they live in whatever the fuck town they live in. And then they were like, well, remember when they were going to repeal, they lived in Tennessee, and they were saying that they were going to repeal, in some city, let's say it was Memphis, Tennessee, was going to repeal LGBTQ legislation or something. And he said, well, that doesn't matter because, and then he said, remember the mayor, you know, vetoed that or did whatever. And then he's like, so your vote matters because, you know, even on, his point was that on the state and local level, you know, people only think about presidential elections, but your vote on the state and local level affects your life on a day-to-day basis in much more direct ways than whoever your senator or your congressman or your president is. And he was like, oh, well, that doesn't matter because that decision wasn't made by the wasn't made by the mayor. It was made by the city council. And dude posted a meme, was like, oh, how dumb can you be? And then he's like, well, how did the city council get to their job? Well, they're elected. I'm sucked into it because there is never a good reason not to vote.
At all.
Ever.
Early voting has started. Get your ass into the poll. Tomorrow the polls open. They're open.
When's the 22nd? It started in D.C. on the 22nd.
I'm going tomorrow, but I have to go in the afternoon because
so I get that your job may not allow you time.
And this election is one of the most important elections going forward because the Democrats can actually take a handle or catch a grip on this machine called our government. Let's give them a fighting chance,
right?
So that there is a balance between the House and the Senate, and
people's goals are so short-sighted. Everyone has this all or nothing mentality. Even if the Democrats do not totally win control of the House, you look at it as a pie. Right now, the majority, and because I got to break it down to people in simple terms, because our educational system is so fucked up that if I started to talk about fractions and percentages, I'd lose people.
Is this apple or cherry pie?
Apple pie, of course. I hate him sometimes. Anyway, right now, the House is mostly, or is a large enough portion of Republicans in the House and Southern Dixiecrats and other people.
Come on, Southern Dixiecrats.
That's what you might as well call them. People who are Democrats in name only, like the guy that won against a child molester in Alabama. He's technically a Democrat. Roy Moore, or is that the guy that was the predator, the child predator?
I think Roy Moore was I think he was a child predator. I think.
Right. So whoever ran against him ran as a Democrat, but most of the time since then he's voted with the Republicans. But even if Democrats do not totally win the House, if the pie is more evenly divided, that means they can't railroad shit through,
right? The
way that they used to. There are so many things. Just so if you are a LGBTQ person, just this week the administration has talked about rolling back. They didn't say directly that they're rolling back transgender protections, but they are defining they're defining gender as an
male
immutable
or female, what you were born as
an immutable condition defined at birth as either male or female.
Absolutely,
which writes transgender people out of the history books. Therefore, that means that you can't apply for federal benefits. All sorts of downstream things. And
what will eventually happen is those people that do decide to go through that process, they will still not be able to be considered the opposite sex. And
when those things happen at the top, then there's no impetus for insurance insurance carriers to cover hormone replacement therapy,
because all of that does not fall under what most insurance companies will carry.
But if the government accepts that trans people exist and that gender is not some immutable birth condition, then it starts to infuse policy at all levels. Mm-hmm. And how does that happen? By the people that you vote for. Mm-hmm. All of those things affect you. If you are a black person, I, as a black person, just cannot fathom why any black person would not vote. It's empty, honey.
There's a few drops in here. I got it.
Okay. If someone in your family was directly affected, someone in your family was lynched or denied a mortgage or redlined or rode a segregated bus or had someone call them nigger to their face or spit in their face or did something, and all you have to do to honor that is spend a couple hours of your time in a booth
to vote.
And if you have ever stood in line for tickets to, and I'm talking to the gays, I'm talking to you black gays particularly, if you have ever stood in line for Janet Jackson tickets or Beyonce tickets, if you are a nerd and you stood in line for Star Wars tickets, or if you stood in line for the newest iPhone, then you can stand in line to vote. Because you could live your entire life without another phone, without another Beyonce ticket or another Janet Jackson ticket. But if I know. Oof, calm down. Woo, woo, woo. But if they take away your rights, you can't get those rights back. So vote.
Absolutely.
Vote, goddammit.
And on the flip side of that, when you do vote, go on out and play your Mega Millions.
Listen, Jack, I still get because the Powerball is tonight and it's 675 million. But that's nothing to sneeze at.
But let me explain something to you. That 1.537 million billion of the Mega Millions. Let me tell you something. How that broke down to like 930 something 7 million, I think it was.
Yes.
Listen, I'm sorry, 878 million as a lump sum.
Let
me explain to you how I would be so okay with that. Listen.
And you can stay anonymous when you claim it in South Carolina.
So South Carolina, I think, is anonymous, yeah.
Yeah, you can remain anonymous.
Let me tell you how I will be clearing my Facebook profile like this. You know what? Bloop, fuck you, bitch. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. Look, bitch, bloop, 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 bloop. Bitch, I ain't never liked you. I don't like your shoes, bitch. That time you stepped on my shoe back in 19...
But see, I wouldn't even go through all that. I would just not talk about it.
But at the end of the day, as long as I saw those zeros about my doll hairs in my account, I'd be good. 878 million. You know, listen, can you imagine? I'll be going through the just get a bank statement and going to the ATM machine, just leave and just walk away. I would.
I wouldn't because, it's too many shiesty people around.
I would just leave the bank
who would
statement
be like, ooh, girl, chase you down. Listen, you got some shiesty hoes in here that have been like, that's his fingerprint. And you copy that and do that and go through the records and then hoes show up. Listen, he's going to be some woman that shows up like, Epic, this is your baby.
Really, girl? Wait a minute. Really? Really, girl? Okay. All right, boo.
I mean, it could happen.
All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, if this was 1991, yeah, it could have happened. But, honey, you would need to be a considerable amount of age right now. But at 2018, if you less than 20.
Ooh, but there's 36 tickets that match the 5 white balls to claim $1 million.
And there are a couple people in the D.C. area, as well as a few other states, that actually got like $1 to $3 million tickets. So
you know what that means.
But I didn't check mine. I didn't check mine. And I got my other tickets in Maryland. I need to check that just to make sure because listen, even $7.
If I won $1 million, I wouldn't tell anybody because
I wouldn't tell anybody.
No, I would just buy a nicer house. But here's my thing: I would buy a nicer house.
But Maryland, you have to identify. I think Maryland you have to identify. It's not anonymous.
Oh, I bought my tickets in D.C.
Which I don't think you can't be anonymous. I don't believe. I don't think you can be anonymous in D.C. or Maryland.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
All right, well, I would do my best.
But that's fine.
I spent all the money. I have no money left.
But for $1 million, I'd be like...
I would move. Even if I won $1 million, I'd move.
But listen,
like, I gotta go.
With that million, what is it, 5 or 600,000? Like,
Right. That would set me on. I could start a business. I could do a bunch of other stuff.
I could take that.
I would still quit. I would quit my job tomorrow.
I wouldn't quit my job for $1 million, but I would definitely.
I would quit the job to start my other business because now I have enough startup capital to start that, and I could always go back. I mean, you leave on, but here's the difference between $400 million and $1 million. $1 million you give 2 weeks notice because you might have to go back to a job someday. $400 million. You don't ever have to go back to work ever again.
Listen.
But you know what I'm saying? So if you only win $1 million, I mean, if you buy a house and take a couple of trips, even if you aren't trying to spend it all, $1 million isn't going to go but so far, and it's very conceivable that you might have to go back to work for somebody. $400 million, you were never going to have to go back to work for anybody ever again.
That is true.
That's why for $1 million, even $2 million, I would be like, dear blah, 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 I have really enjoyed working here, but I, have to leave. Thank you.
Okay.
And that's it.
Listen.
You wouldn't give notice? You would just be out?
I'm sorry, $400 million?
For $400 million, no. I wouldn't even give them the courtesy of a notice. I would just disappear. And they would see me on TV or never see me again, depending on whether it was anonymous or not.
My boss and I have already had these conversations, and I love my boss. So she already know. She would not be expecting me. She'd be like, he's not here today? Oh, shit, you done hit the damn lottery. Let me wait till I get this phone call from him to see when I'm supposed to meet him at the airport.
Right.
She already know. That's.
Oh, y'all cool like that?
Yeah, we cool like that.
Cool
I'm cool like that because I would for her, and to do something special for her because I do like her. I have had over the years very bad experiences with directors or bosses or direct supervisors that were female. And I don't know if it was the gay part. I don't know if it was just me. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I've had very, very bad experiences.
Really? That's interesting.
This is the first time that I've worked with a female that was my direct supervisor.
Say woman.
Well, woman, who I actually I like very much, and we get along great. Mm-hmm. Like I have no problems with her whatsoever. Like we laugh and joke all the time, and I love her to death. So and I respect her opinions about a lot of things. So that's not to say that the ones that I didn't get along with, I didn't respect their opinions. But they made me not necessarily want to pay attention to what they were saying. Mm. So
I've had fine bosses who were women, and I've also had some that were real see you next Tuesday.
Now let's be clear. I've also had some men that were just, listen, if you were on fire, I wouldn't walk past, I wouldn't spit on you.
Right.
Like, listen, I was going to say his name.
Let's not do that because you don't have that $1 million.
I was getting ready to say his name, but I was like, okay, let me not do that because he wrote me a very nice little letter one time, and I have this letter to this day because I was like, it's a motivating thing for me. I was like,
nice meaning like shady.
He read me the riot act,
but was it accurate?
Yes, it was accurate, but it was.
And I'm not trying to be shady. No.
I'm being 210% transparent. It was very accurate, but my issue was in the field that I was in at the time. I was in admissions, and what you were asking for a starting admissions counselor employee, too fucking much.
Oh,
so absolutely. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was so it was accurate based on what you asked of me. But it was also accurate based on what the fuck I actually could do as one person.
See, listen, they already started. Tyra Nicole, I ain't even got no money. I said, if you bought a new house, I move. Oh, you moving to the old house. You can have the old house. Listen, I will give it to you outright. You can have it.
Really? Richer than Jermaine Dupri? He only has $5 million. Listen, that's $5 million more than what I have. So
right.
And he also
Jermaine Dupri's net worth is only $5 million?
Wow, baby boy. I hope you think.
Wow.
I feel like it would be more
really?
than that. Even with
Are you sure? I feel like I need to Google, because he's been like a producer and everything. I feel like he should have got more than $5 million.
And he was a dancer.
He was a dancer?
He was a backup dancer. Jermaine started as a backup dancer.
All the way in the back.
He was a backup dancer.
All the way in the back. He's rich people poor. Yeah, because I just would think that Jermaine Dupri would have at least 20 mil or something from... because he was like a producer. I mean, he's fairly well known
And listen, and you dated JJ, so listen, you might have some extra credit somewhere.
Janet Jackson was like, no, Jermaine, this is my money, not yours.
Okay, that's fine. But he also probably made money off of her because he produced her album as well.
You get $5. You know, we could do it.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
An ASMR. This is what happens when you drink wine on the show. Drugs are a terrible thing.
But this wine is so good.
I'm going to bring a pickle next time. Crunch the pickle.
What kind of pickle?
Yes.
A big pickle.
A big pickle.
But I don't need it cold. I need it room temperature.
Yes.
Yes, when you bite into it, it'll crunch.
Garlic pickles.
Garlic pickle.
Yes. Crunch. Yes. I have some Doritos in the car. See, this is what our producers look at us like,
what the hell are you doing? But anyway.
Cocaine is a hell of a... We don't do no cocaine.
Yeah, because I surely don't. Did you see Cardi B did the ASMR thing as well?
I saw that. I don't even get... I mean, it was funny here, but I just don't get what people get from watching those kinds of things. Now,
that
the chick
woman
that
with
does
that
pickle... eating the pickle slowly, and you can hear it crunch. I will bring a pickle or something next time, and you can just do it like that so you can hear it.
I will fuck that pickle up.
Right. So,
oh my God.
As we get to the end of the show, we want to remind, first of all, we want to send.
Did we also talk about Megyn Kelly too, and her blackface comment?
Yes, let's talk about that real quick.
Megyn Kelly, you're an ass.
Yeah, you're a complete ass.
You're an ass.
But she also believed that Santa Claus was white, and she wanted to go on record and talk about that.
And she also said that she's not PC. Well, we see that you're not PC. You're also not educated. So you don't have an MSED or a BA.
And, she is 47, so she is the same age as we are, and she was talking about blackface was fine when I was young. Bitch,
when was it
not.
Ever fine?
It was never fine. It was never.
It was done in the movie, but it was never fine.
That means we were all born in 1971, and no time from 1971 forward was blackface ever fine.
Ass.
Ever.
But anyway, I'm off of that.
And Al Roker, everybody.
Al Roker got her ass together.
Everybody clowns Al Roker
because they say he got her ass together this morning in a very nice way.
Just because you don't walk around with a dashiki, don't mean you're not down for the people. And Al Roker got he got Matt Lauer together that time. He got who was the swimmer dude that went over to Brazil and did all kinds of foolishness.
Oh shit! I see.
Whatever that asshole was, he got him together, and he got Megyn Kelly together. Yeah. So listen, Al, power to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I was going to say is that shout out to our brother Links, who is
yes,
your 2019 Mr. New Jersey Leather. So congratulations to him. So we're building quite the little group for IML next year. So far we've got. Mr. Ramrod.
Yes.
We've got
Elimination.
Mr. What did we just say? Mr. New Jersey Leather.
Right.
And the competition season is just getting started.
This is true.
Good for them.
And shout out to Mr. IML, James Lee. I watched the cutest video today with him and Miss Imsel, where she came into his gym and did a. He works at a tumbling gym, and so they did like cheers, and so they lifted her up. It was so cute. Like I thought it was the cutest video. So I shout out to that, and I think it was so cute. Love you both. It was such a cute video.
So last thing, don't forget that Onyx's Halloween extravaganza, Iniquity, Armageddon is this Saturday, October 27th.
And it's supposed to rain. Oh my God.
Oh, it's supposed to rain?
It's supposed to rain Saturday.
Oh, good. Luckily, I don't have my makeup. I don't have any makeup. From 10 to 3 a.m. at the DC Eagle. Parking is available behind Downtown Locker Room and Rainbow. And Sunday we're having brunch at Toro.
Or Toro. Classy.
Ooh, and I heard it's all you can drink.
Classy.
Yes, God.
Shout out to the Iniquity Committee, the Pitbull in the skirt, and one of our other models that is on the flyer. So shout out to y'all for pulling that all the way together. So I appreciate you all so much.
Yes.
And if you're not busy, come on down. Tickets are $25 in advance and $30 at the door.
$20 in advance.
I'm sorry. With the
with
the
fee,
the Eventbrite fee, but $20 in advance and $30 at the door. And then also their VIP packages as well. You can actually do those. Those are $80 in advance, and that also includes Toro.
Yes.
Your brunch.
You can find the information on Facebook. Yes. Just look for
onyxma.com or look for Iniquity 2018.
That's INIQUITY. Iniquity. All right. The BGKH Show streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com from 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. Eastern and 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Just search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGKH Show with Dominion and Epic. Right now, we actually have the capacity for a studio audience, so we have just been lax about this, but
But can you call us? Can you say you want to be in the tickets? You want to come in the audience?
You hoes message me for all kinds of other foolishness.
Right.
So
if you're in the DMV, come on. Or even if you're not.
Come on, Tyra. We know you want to be in the audience.
Yeah, I mean, come on. David Brock, where you at? Come on now. You listen. You friended me. Come on and be this. Listen, Cameron, Anubis, come on in the audience. Listen, we'll take y'all in the audience. We would love to have y'all here.
So, Epic, how can the kids get in contact with you? So,
kids, listen, you can reach me on Facebook if you look for me under Epic Onyx. You can also reach me on Instagram at I am Epic Onyx. You can also reach me on Twitter at Epic Onyx1. And how can they reach you, Dominion?
Dom Onyx at Dom Onyx on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/Dom Onyx, and www.domonyx.com. Eventually, I'm going to be writing about, everything that's been going on over the past couple of years, with my father and my family, and my book, Alex and Alonzo, A Love Story. All right, kids, so next week we'll be giving you all of the sordid details from Iniquity.
Well, not all of them.
Well, those that we can share. So, until then, God bless you and good night.
Mwah.
1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 1. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.